Hello guys, my name is Khan, and actually in today's video we'll discuss the merge command of Stata in more detail. So before explaining the merge command, suppose that we have this data one. Suppose we were doing any survey, and for different household we gathered this information for question number 1, 2 and 3. But suppose after that you realize that question number 2 and 3 need to be checked, and you ask your survey company to and you ask them that there is also question 4 in the survey or about which there is no information, and you ask your survey company to give you an update on these. And suppose after a while your survey company have come up with the data and have shared this kind of data set with you. They have shared the question number 2 and 3 more in further information, and also have added the responses for question number 4 which were missing in the first data set. So now before going, so if you ended up of such kind of data file that you want to merge two files in which you have variables in both datasets which are same. So suppose in our data 1, which is our master data, so question number 2 and question number 3 have the same variable name. Also we also have the same variable name in this dataset, the updated part of data 1 dataset. So question number 2 and 3 variable names are also appearing here. As you can remember in my previous videos, when we were merging our dataset, our variables in both datasets were different. But now I will discuss that how you can deal with in Stata when you're merging two datasets and there are variables which are common in both datasets. So as you can see that in our data 1, we were having these two variables, question number 2 and 3, and the values entered in data 1 is 3, whereas here the value for household ID is 2, not 3, and for question number 2 the value is 2, but now after in the updated file our value is 3. And also we have missing data in our first data set, which got updated in the updated file, and now we have these red numbers. So red numbers are showing that survey company have updated the missing data, and now we don't have missing data. I have highlighted as red to show that the missing data got updated, and the yellow highlight is showing that we were having previously data in our previous dataset, but now in the using file the values got changed, and this blue highlight is showing that we in our using data there is a missing information, but before that in our previous dataset we used to have a value, we were having information there. So suppose if we do a simple merge the way we were doing it before in my previous videos, so then what you will ended up is that Stata will just add this question number 4 in our data 1 in our master data, and will not change any value even after merge, and our values remains the same. As you can see, 3 and 2 also remain the same. The missing information don't get updated from the using data for the given household IDs. Whereas suppose if you want to tell Stata that if there is missing values in Stata, is missing values in the master data. Suppose if there is missing information for household ID 2 and missing information for household ID 3 and 4, and for those for question number 2 and 3 you can update those values from the new using data or the updated data. So what you can do, we can use an update option in Stata. If we will use the update option, what Stata will do in this table, you can see if we use an update option in Stata, Stata will update the missing information of the master data with the values which are in our using data. So now in our using data we have 1 and 2. This one that the response 1 for question number 2 for household ID number 2. So the Stata will update only when there is a missing information in master data. So as you can see, if we use update option, Stata have updated these 4 cells, and we have now information about question number 2 we have information about for the household ID 2, which was missing before. But the point here is that in our using data, we were having this missing information, but before that we were having information there. The Stata keep that information. Stata didn't update the missing information from the using data. So if there is a missing information in the using data, Stata will not update the missing information for the master data and will keep the previous value there. But when you will do an update of merge, the Stata will tell you that there are non-missing conflicts. So the non-missing conflicts for this observation is that that in the using data, the information is different than the master data, but it will not make any update here. And then in the second row, Stata will give us a notification that missing updated, that there was a missing information in for this household ID and it got updated from the using data now. And same for this row, that he have updated one update, missing information got updated for this observation too, and here too, and these observations get matched exactly the same as before. But suppose that you also want that Stata don't update only the missing information in the using data, but we also want that Stata also update if there is any non-missing conflicts like this, that we want that 3.2 should be updated by 2.3 from using data. So in that case, you can use, I will zoom in a bit. So in that case, we will use both update and replace option in Stata. So once you do update and replace options, so Stata will not only update the missing information, which is here and here too, it will also update the non-missing conflicts. So, and Stata will say that if there is a non-missing conflict between using data and master data, keep the information from the using data, not the master data. So we have 2 and 3 here. Previously, when we were not using the replace option, we were only having so Stata is keeping 3 and 2 from the master data. So now I will take you guys to Stata to show how you can use those options, and I will also refer back to this Excel sheet to make sure that you're able to understand more well. So I already have created a do file, and the dataset that I'm using in this do file are the same as the one that I am using. So in this do file, I will be using the same dataset that I have shown you guys. Same do file that I have shown you guys. Same dataset that I have shown you guys in the Excel. So if I go back to my do file, so I'm using all my datasets are located in this folder. So I'm giving the working directory, and then I'm using data 1. So if I set Control Shift Home, Control D to execute, and if I go back to my result window, you can see this is my data 1. I can browse it, and I can show this is the same data set that I have in my Excel. So, and after that, if I do a simple merge the way we were doing it before, so I'm saying merge 1:1 by household ID using this file. So if I do it, Control Shift Home and then Control D, and go back to my result window in Stata. Stata is saying that all 6 observations are matched, which is fine. But if I go to browse, you can see that Stata just added the question number 4, which is the new variable from the using data, but haven't changed anything for these things, haven't updated anything. All the things are the same as it is as we are having in our master data, which is the data 1. And I think if I also browse it again and try to see here that this is the 1:1 merge, which is the simple merge without any option we are doing. You can see this data have added this column question number 4 column after merging. And but suppose now if we want to update, we want that data update. If there is a missing information in our master data, update it with the non-missing information. So if I want that, what I have to do then, I have to come to Stata. So I'm clearing it again. I'm doing the process again. I'll start uploading. I will upload data 1 first and then we will merge, but there will be a difference now. So and now if you want to update missing values of the same named variable in master with the values of the using, you need to use this option update with and you have to enter this comma first. So once you will write merge 1:1 household ID based on which is the key variable connecting our master data and the using data, and then after that I'm saying the file name, and after that I will press comma. The comma means that after the comma you will specify the option. Now I'm specifying the option that I want to use is update. Update means that update missing values of the same named variables in master file with the values from using file. Again I'm saying the update means that update missing values of same named variables in master data file with values from using. So if I execute my code now, Control Shift Home and then Control D to execute. So I can go to my result window and I can show you guys the Stata is saying that okay, the 6 observations got matched, but out of 6, 2 observations not updated because the information was exactly the same in both master and using data. And then Stata is saying that 3 observations missing updated, that there was in 3 observations we were having missing information in our master data, means data 1, and now after merging Stata have updated those missing information from the using data. And then Stata is saying that in one observation there are non-missing conflicts. Non-missing conflict that there is information in master data, but the information is different from the using data. But here I am saying that for that observation, Stata is keeping the information which is in the master data and not updating it from the using file. So if I do browse, we will have this information now, and this information is the same as in this table, and as you can see, Stata have updated missing information with the non-missing information from the using file. So this is what Stata will do if you use update option with merge. And if you want to further see what options you can do with use with the merge command, you can just simply write help merg and then you can see there is a very good description about how you can do merging, what are the options you can use in Stata, and so on. So you can, so if you get time, you can also read this information. There are so many good examples there too. Secondly, about reading a help file, I would like to add here that whenever you see something in a help file which is in these brackets, so it means that it's optional. So even if you don't write down those things, the command will work. But those things which are not under these brackets means that you need to specify those things if you are using that command. So again, if you find something in these brackets, this means that these are optional things that you can add to your command, but not required that you must have to add. So I will go back now to my do file again, and suppose now in the third example, now I will say that suppose that now is that if you want to replace all values of same named variable in master data with the non-missing values from using. So you are not just saying that only replace if there is a missing data in the master file, and now you are specifying that you want to replace all values of same named variable. So if in master data with non-missing values of using. So again, I'm highlighting this word non-missing, that if suppose if there is a missing value in using data, Stata will not update the missing information in your master file. So I will show you in the data actually, and will show you what is doing. So now I will again clearing my all previous data sets. And I am uploading the data one and then try to merge it with this new data. But now here I will be using update and replace command together. So if you are specifying both update and replace, the Stata will replace all values of same name variables in master data with non-missing values of using. Before that we were just using update. So when you are just using update, Stata will only update the missing information, will only update the same name variable in master with values from the using data which are missing. So I will execute this code now. Control Shift Home and then Control D. Go back, and Stata have given me that okay, you have done 6 merges. So saying not updated, 2 observations are not updated because the information in both rows are same. 3 observations missing, 3 observations missing data updated, and there was in 1 observation there is a non-missing conflict, but this time that conflict is updated by the using data. If I go to browse, so you can see now I have this data, but this data is the same as here. I'm referring actually because it's easier to say what's going on here. So as I am using replace and update options together now, so Stata first updated the missing information in our master data with the non-missing information or from using data, and then Stata have also updated the conflicting information. So in for our household ID 1 we are having 3 and 2 for question number 2 and 3, whereas in using data we have 2 and 3. So Stata have updated this information from the using data now, the conflicting information from the using data. But the important thing is that Stata didn't updated the missing information. We still have 4 from our master data. So the missing information will never get updated from the using data. So again, so if I go back, go back to my data, I'll close this window. Again, I will suggest you that if you go to help merge, you can go into different, or you can go into Stata, and there are different options that you can specify with this merge command. Currently, I have just given you an example of update option and replace option in Stata. There are so many other options that you can use, and Stata have also given different description about it, how option, what each options are doing, a bit detailed overview, and 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 I also have given some very good example in the end, so you can also look at these example in this help window. So actually this is a small or a brief overview about Stata merge command, and I think hopefully you will have liked it.